Welcome to Guns Gear Network, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm going to bring you a tabletop review of a product that I recently put in my EDC, or my everyday carry. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that as of recent we've had quite a few incidents, mass shootings, terrorist threats, all kinds of things that's been going on in the world that's hit kind of close to home. Makes you start thinking a little different sometimes in how you're preparing in your life. And one of the things that I was always a little concerned about is medical. You know, I don't wear BDU pants, not the tactical type stuff, on a daily basis, and so I can't really carry a med kit with me wearing dress clothes to work, right? Most people can't. And so, you know, I could carry it in like an EDC type bag, because I do carry that, and I'm going to show that in the next few days. But at the end of the day, I don't walk in and out of buildings, I don't go to restaurants with that bag with me most of the time. So I have, you know, just me and what I'm carrying on me. So I was trying to figure out a way to carry stuff, and I'd seen these in the past, wasn't quite sure if I wanted to try it or not, but as of recent, because of the incidents that happened, got me thinking about it, and I said, you know, I'm gonna make the effort to try them out. And this one is by Rescue Essentials. If you follow my channel, you know that I recently did another review of their quick litter, or their emergency stretcher, made by Rescue Essentials. And this is their ankle holster, if you will, for medical kits. And it's designed to mostly carry an IFAK. You know, it's an individual first aid kit, or blowout kit is more appropriate, what I'm carrying mine for. No real first aid stuff. There's no band-aids in this, no boo-boo type stuff. This is for major medical type situations. So just like a police officer, they would be in the same situation a lot of times. They're like us in a lot of ways, that are people that are prepared. I've got medical kits. I've got usually at least one or two around me or near me all the time, but it's in my car. So I may go shopping in the mall with my wife, I may go in a restaurant for extended periods of time, whatever, and my car is a long way away. So police officers, the same situation. They go in and out of buildings, they're, you know, on foot patrol, they're maybe in a foot chase, whatever, and they can't get back to their medical kit because it's way back. You know, they've chased a suspect a quarter of a mile, and something happens, somebody gets shot, and they need to save themselves, save, you know, another person, and they don't have their medical kit even on them. They might have a tourniquet, they might have, you know, a pair of gloves. That's usually it. Most police officers carry on their belt because they carry so much other stuff. So we're a lot the same way when it comes to that. We just can't carry these type things on us until I started looking and researching these ankle first aid IFAK kits. There's a few different manufacturers of these. I may be able to show you a few different ones over the next couple weeks. I've talked to a couple companies. This one I paid for, from Rescue Essentials, and I thought it looked pretty nice, thought I'd give it a shot. Price point on this is about $25, not stocked, so you have an option of stocked or non-stocked. I decided I had enough medical supplies, I would just stock it myself, kind of with what I wanted, and just do that. So we're going to take a look at it and give you some ideas of a few things on it. So it's made of a ballistic nylon type material, and it closes by Velcro, and I'll show you that here in a second. It has this portion here that's against your leg, that I assume is for comfort, and maybe even like a sweat guard or something to keep this. It's probably got a backer on it to keep it from sweating through. But it's also kind of a, I don't know, felty, fuzzy kind of material, so it's pretty comfortable. Closes by Velcro method, and I'll actually show you at the end of the video of me putting it on my ankle and what it looks like. A lot of adjustment there, a lot of big area to make big or small. So you're looking here at two compartments that are elastic, that are not doesn't have any type of cover, but they do have a section at the bottom so stuff don't fall out. This pocket here is the biggest pocket, and the entire thing is made of elastic, the entire pocket, so it's stretchable and expandable, and it does have a Velcro cover over it, and I will show you that in detail here in a minute. Then this section here is actually made of moly. You have 1, 2, 3 sections, 1, 2, 3 of moly, and this right here I added, but I'll tell you about that here when I get down here. So let's take a look at what I put in mine, and we'll go from there. So in this section here, I put 2 petroleum gauze pads. Now, the reason I put these in here is for chest seals. So in theory, I could do 2 gunshot wounds with this through and through. So if it went in my chest or somebody's chest out their back, I can do 2 gunshot wounds with this. Could be a knife wound. It could be a lot of different things where you would need to have, if you need to stop a sucking chest wound type injury, these are here work well. A lot of EMTs, ambulances, that's what they use. They don't use the true that's made for chest seals. They typically don't. They usually use this type stuff. These are here work just fine. You could put the chest seals in. I opted for these, because they're a little smaller and compact, and they fit in this a little better, and they're way cheaper than the actual chest seals that you find. So I've got that in that section, and then I also have duct tape on a credit card. So that goes hand in hand with these. So they can it can be used to help assemble those chest seals, and also obviously duct tape is multi-purpose, and you can do a lot of different things with it. That's why I opted for duct tape instead of a true medical tape, because I could put it on this credit card and get it down to small compact size. So in this section here, the other elastic section, I have a pair of nitrile gloves, and I have a package of 15 grams of Celox, quick clot Celox type stuff. Okay, this right here is a hemostatic agent, and that's what I opted for this pocket here. And again, just kind of put everything in a compact form so it's not too bulky on my leg. And a lot of this stuff I bag myself. I've talked about that before, as far as buying those little plastic bags and be able to bag stuff. In this section here, if you take this, because it's all made of elastic, if you pull up on this like that, it actually pulls your stuff out of your pocket for you. So I have an NPA or nasopharyngeal tube along with the lube in that pocket, and I have 2 of the TK4 tourniquets. Are these the best tourniquets around? No, but they do work. The military used them for a long time. I can carry 2 of them, and I would rather carry 2. I talk about this all the time, and kind of the old adage, 2 is 1, 1 is none. But when it comes to tourniquets, I prefer to have 2. You never know when you have multiple gunshot wounds, multiple trauma, such as a bombing, where you might have 2 amputations or whatever the case. And I wanted 2 tourniquets, and the TK4s fit that bill well. To help them fit in here, I did punch a pinhole in the packaging so I could get all the air out and make it as small as possible. Then I also have an emergency blanket. When you deal with gunshot wounds, major trauma, a lot of times you get into a situation of shock. When you have blood loss, what have you, and shock can kill you. So I did have room for an emergency blanket, and I put that in there. So you just, it took me a little bit, guys, to kind of play with this whole system and get it where I wanted it and get everything kind of where it would fit. But I'll show you it all does fit. And you'll just have to kind of see what works for you. Some people may say, hey, I'm not carrying that, but I'd like to carry something else. Whatever, that's kind of up to you, what you feel comfortable with. Like I said, this is bungee, I mean not bungee, it's elastic, so it does, you're able to stretch it over and fit really nice like that. Alright, so onto this section, I have a decompression needle. If you don't have training in this, obviously this can be a pretty hazardous because you're poking a hole in somebody's chest. So I've had limited training on this. Am I expert with using a decompression needle? Absolutely not. But a lot of times you'll get into a situation where if a medical professional that's on scene, could be a nurse, could be an ER doctor. I've seen all kinds of stuff in my lifetime where people roll up on a scene. They're a professional at what they do, but they don't have their kit with them. Could be an EMT, and they just happen to be out and about with their family and come across something and they don't have stuff. firefighters, whatever. And so having things like this, you may not be comfortable carrying something like this at all. That's fine, you don't have to, but it fits in here in this MOLLE, and I have decided to carry it for my purpose. So I've seen people with these kits, and a lot of times they'll carry EMT shears. I opted not to do that. I didn't want the bulk, so I decided to use my Rescue Me tool, and I just attached it to this section of MOLLE with the tab, and I can use this obviously to bust a window if I need, but also because it has this seatbelt cutter, it works just fine cutting clothing. And I'll show you. This right here is denim, which is pretty thick. This is what you would run into. There's a real double thick portion right here that's sewn, and we're going to try and see what it does across it. Obviously, if it cuts seat belts, it should cut through this just fine, but let's just see. Yep, sliced right through it, no issues. So I can use this in place of the trauma shears, and it is dual purpose. I can bust a window with it, and I can cut clothing off if I need to, or a seatbelt. So just clips right there. This right here, this elastic section you see was not on here. I actually added this. So you can, you know, all kit I kind of customize, make it work for my what I need. I wanted some roll galls, and I may actually switch this out. I hadn't decided yet. If I can find a very small type of bandage that's a compression type bandage, I may do that, but roll galls works fine if you're trying to plug a wound. I wanted at least one roll of that on here. Keep in mind, this size is just limiting in general, but I think at the end of the day, this is better than nothing, number one. Number two, it allows you to carry a lot of the basic essentials that you need for major trauma. So let's take a look at it on my ankle. So what you're looking at here, pull up, it would probably not be comfortable on your bare leg, but it would be fine on a sock, and I've been wearing it for a little while now, and it's comfortable. It's not doesn't cause me any problems. So it goes on like that, and you're thinking, man, that looks a little bulky. Well, it's not heavy, number one, at all, because there's stuff in it. Obviously, a pistol would be more heavy than this. But if you look, I'll show you this. Once I get my pants over it and situated, it doesn't really show. And most people, I don't wear skinny jeans, so that would maybe cause some people some problems. But myself, works just fine. I don't have any issues with it. I try moving the bulk. It's kind of like wearing a pistol on the inside of your leg. I put the bulk of stuff here, just so it's out of the way. But guys, if you are looking for a way to carry your medical kit, whether you be a responsible armed citizen or a police officer or something like that, highly recommend finding a kit, whether it be this one or something else, and putting it together to be able to carry with you. But anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you got any questions, post those below. If you like our content, give us the thumbs up. That's over there, down there in that section. If you would share our content, that button's down there also. That helps us get the word out. You can share it on Google Plus, Facebook, Pinterest, wherever you want to share it. That's always helpful. Helps us get the word out about the channel and what we're doing over here at Guns and Gear Network, and it's always appreciated. As always, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Bring another video shortly. Have a great day.